In Israel, there have been protests in Tel Aviv and West Jerusalem against the government's handling of the coronavirus pandemic. Police used water cannon in West Jerusalem to try to disperse the crowds. Israel reimposed restrictions after a surge in cases last week, something that's angered demonstrators. There have been protests for weeks over the economic situation and lockdown measures. There were also chants demanding Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu resign. Harry Fawcett reports now from West Jerusalem.
There are two simultaneous sizable protests going on, one here in West Jerusalem, close to the Prime Minister's residence, where we are hearing reports of water cannon being used again, of a large number of streets around the residence being sealed off in order to keep protesters away. And as you say, this other major protest in Tel Aviv, and there have been small protests throughout the country. There are those who are protesting as part of a long-term campaign against Benjamin Netanyahu on the grounds of wanting to get rid of a prime minister who is also facing under trial in 3 corruption cases. But the numbers have been very much buttressed and swollen by people who are protesting against the economic fallout of the pandemic. The protests in Tel Aviv are largely, or at least they've been talked about as protesters from the communities of small business owners, of restaurant owners, because they feel that they are unduly bearing the burden of the shutdowns that have been taking place. As you say, there were restrictions imposed last week, further restrictions imposed just a couple of days ago, including beaches to be closed from next week, all non-essential shops and malls to be shut down during weekends, gatherings restricted to 10 indoors and 20 in open spaces. But they also plan to shut down all restaurants from 5 p.m. on Friday. There was a revolt from restaurant owners who said they'd already bought all of the perishable goods for this weekend. The government reversed itself on that because it was afraid, apparently, of the kind of street protests and public disorder that could have resulted from that.